Have you ever pondered quietly whether those short daytime naps are beneficial to the body and mind or conceal potential health risks? After entering the senior years, many elderly people gradually develop the habit of taking daytime naps. A short doze after an afternoon tea break, an inadvertent drooping of eyelids while watching a movie, or a moment of relaxation lying on the couch may seem harmless. However, when over 70 years old, excessive daytime sleeping may become a potential threat to physical and mental health. In the following in-depth analysis, we will reveal 6 key impacts to help you re-examine the pros and cons of afternoon naps. Chapter 1. The subtle balance of circadian rhythms. High-quality night rest is an important pillar for maintaining the health of the elderly. However, if one sleeps too long during the day, it may disrupt the natural sleep cycle and confuse the body's physiological rhythm system. This sophisticated mechanism should precisely regulate the alternating rhythm of wake-up signals and sleep. When the frequency of daytime naps exceeds the standard or the duration is too long, the body will gradually lose its control over the rhythm, resulting in difficulty falling asleep at night or still feeling drowsy at dawn. Many elderly people are trapped in a fatigue vortex. Afternoon nap, late sleep at night, feeling sleepy in the morning, taking a nap again the next day. Such a vicious cycle makes the tiredness more and more intense. Take Master Wang, a retired technician in his 70s, as an example. At first, he only closed his eyes and rested for a while after lunch. However, over time, the rest time quietly extended, and gradually, he had difficulty falling asleep at night and could only doze off until the early morning light. After this reversal of day and night, even if he stayed in bed for 10 hours, he was still listless during the day. This case reveals the true meaning of healthy sleep, which is not only about the duration but also about the choice of timing and the control of quality. A short rest, 20-30 minutes, can indeed rejuvenate the spirit, but frequent and long-lasting daytime sleeping will seriously interfere with the deep sleep mechanism. If you notice that you have frequent night awakenings, still feeling tired in the morning, perhaps it is a warning that your daytime rest pattern is inappropriate. Chapter 2. The invisible killer of cognitive function. Clear thinking is the most precious wealth in old age. However, few people know that excessive daytime sleeping is actually related to the decline of cognitive function. Although moderate rest is beneficial to brain health, excessive daytime sleeping may cause memory decline, sluggish thinking, and increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. Research data shows that the elderly group with frequent long-term sleeping is more likely to experience short-term memory loss, misplacement of items, scattered concentration. The root cause is that the brain needs to rely on undisturbed deep night sleep to complete information integration and metabolic clearance. When daytime sleeping encroaches on night sleep, the brain loses the golden period for self-repair. Take Ms. Shen, a retired teacher in Shanghai, as an example. At the age of 78, she is still enthusiastic about reading and puzzle games. In the past, she had an excellent memory. However, as time went by, she gradually showed forgetting people's names, losing personal items, being absent-minded during conversations, accompanied by frequent dozing while watching TV. Her cognitive decline was significantly faster than that of her peers. Sleep monitoring found that her average daily 5-minute daytime sleep of 3 hours led to her nighttime deep sleep proportion being less than 15, far lower than the healthy standard value. This case confirms the scientific conclusion that the quality and quantity of day and night sleep deeply affect the plasticity of neural synapses and the metabolic rate of amyloid in the brain. Chapter 3. The silent alarm of the cardiovascular system. As the body's non-stop engine, the heart maintains life vitality through regular beats. However, excessive daytime rest may become an invisible promoter of cardiovascular diseases. Clinical studies have revealed that continuous daytime sleeping for more than 60 minutes is significantly associated with the following risks: abnormal fluctuations in arterial pressure, sinus arrhythmia, and increased incidence of coronary heart disease. The pathogenic mechanism lies in that the imbalance of day and night sleep will cause hemodynamic changes, disorders in the lipid metabolism cycle, abnormal autonomic nerve regulation. In most cases, excessive daytime sleeping is actually a compensatory behavior for nighttime sleep disorders. when the body cannot complete cardiometabolic repair, clearance of inflammatory factors, regulation of stress hormones. During deep night sleep, it will fall into a vicious cycle of daytime compensatory sleeping. Take Mr. Zhang, a postman in his 70s. As an example, he used to regularly walk briskly in the morning. However, due to the gradually increasing habit of afternoon naps, an average of 2.5 hours per day, he experienced an increase in resting heart rate to 85 beats per minute, systolic blood pressure exceeding the 150 mmHg warning line, a 40 decrease in exercise tolerance. Polysomphore monitoring showed that in his night sleep structure, the N3-stage deep sleep accounted for only 12. The number of awakenings reached 6.7 times per hour. Under the guidance of the sleep medicine department, he implemented daytime sleep restriction therapy 30 minutes per day, sleep phase advanced training, heart rate variability biofeedback. After a 3-month review, not only did his blood pressure reach the standard 128/76 mmHg, but the maximum oxygen uptake in the cardiopulmonary exercise test increased by 21. This case confirms that scientifically regulating the ratio of day and night rest has a two-way regulatory effect on cardiovascular protection. Chapter 4: The Invisible Loss of Motor Function. Maintaining moderate physical activity is the core strategy to delay the elderly frailty syndrome. However, excessive daytime sleeping will lead to a 12-15 decrease in the basic metabolic rate, a decline in muscle group coordination, impaired balance function. Its action mechanisms include 1. Reduced thermogenic effect consumption. The metabolic rate during sleep is 5A lower than that in the resting state. 2. Inhibition of exercise impulse. Sustained activation of adenosine receptors reduces the desire for exercise. 3. Circadian rhythm misalignment, disrupting the golden period of muscle glycogen and synthesis after exercise. Take Ms. Zhu, a dance teacher. As an example, at the age of 68, she still maintains the habit of morning exercise every day. After increasing afternoon naps an average of 1.5 hours per day, she experienced a quarterly reduction of 3.2 cm in the cross-sectional area of the quadriceps humerus, a decrease in single-leg standing time from 47 seconds to 20 seconds, an 18 reduction in the 6-minute walking distance. Wearable device monitoring showed that the average daily steps dropped sharply from 8,500 to 3,200. The proportion of moderate to high-intensity activity time decreased from 15 to 6. By implementing a segmented sleep plan, a 25-minute nap at noon, a 20-minute meditation at dusk, a resistance exercise prescription, 3 progressive load training sessions per week. After an 8-week physical test, it showed that muscle mass recovered by 1.8 kg. The passing rate of the balance test increased to 92. The maximum grip strength increased by 14. Chapter 5: The Invisible Loss of Motor Function. The gradual decline of muscle strength and the sluggishness of the metabolic system often start from the excessive accumulation of daytime sleeping. Clinical studies have shown that continuous daytime sleeping for more than 90 minutes will cause a 23 decrease in the skeletal muscle protein synthesis rate, an 18 reduction in the basic metabolic rate, degeneration of proprius patient function. Its action mechanisms involve 1. Inhibition of mitochondrial biogenesis. The stationary state reduces the activity of a AMP enzyme. 2. Change in insulin sensitivity. Downregulation of GLUT for transporter protein expression. 3. Blocking of mechanical growth signals. Lack of muscle stretch stimulation. Take Master Chen, a carpenter in Kaohsiung. As an example, at the age of 72, he could still skillfully operate the traditional mortise and tenon technique. After developing a 3-hour daytime sleeping habit, he experienced a sudden and rapid grip strength from 38 kg to 26 kg, a decrease in resting metabolic rate to 0.8 MET, a 4.7-second increase in the get-up and go test time. Sports medicine assessment found that the cross-sectional area of type I muscle fibers decreased by 31. Glycogen reserve decreased to 60 of the normal value. The conduction of balance sense afferent nerves was delayed by 12 ms. By implementing Microcycle exercise therapy 5-minute resistance training every 90 minutes. Metabolic activation diet plan branched-chain amino acid enhancements. Light rhythm regulation 30-minute exposure to 10,000 lux light in the morning. After 6-week functional assessments, it showed that the muscle synthesis rate returned to the baseline level. The daily activity energy consumption increased by 327 kcal/day. The accuracy of teleoperation recovered to 92. Chapter 6. The Crisis of Imbalance and Emotion Regulation. There's a two-way regulatory relationship between mental health and physical health. Excessive daytime sleeping will lead to abnormal concentrations of bottom-line neurotransmitters, dysfunction of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, disinterescence of social rhythms. Research in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine points out that those with an average daily daytime sleep of more than 2 hours have a 41 increase in the depression scale score, a 68 reduction in the frequency of social activities, a 53 decrease in positive emotional experiences. Take Ms. a solitary elderly woman in Tuyuan as an example. After her husband passed away at the age of 73, she formed a 5-hour per day at times sleeping pattern. Subsequently, she experienced a decrease in serotonin concentration to 79 ng/L normal value, 150/250, a 29 decrease in the dopamine E receptor binding rate, a score of only 38 points on the social function assessment scale normal 75. Through multimodal interventions, light therapy exposure to 4,000 kcal temperature light before dusk, social rhythm therapy community activities at fixed times, mindfulness-based cognitive training 20-minute meditation per day. After a 3-month review, the depression scale score improved by 62. The art creation time returned to 15 hours per week. Neurotransmitter levels returned to the normal range. Chapter 6. The Hidden Imbalance of Metabolic Homeostasis. The body's precise regulation system of glucose metabolism is vulnerable to the disorder of circadian rhythms. Sustained daytime sleeping will cause the 27 decrease in insulin sensitivity, the 34 reduction in skeletal muscle glucose uptake rate, a 19 weakening of liver glycogen synthesis efficiency. Research in the journal Diabetes Care has confirmed that those with an average daily daytime sleep of more than 90 minutes have a 42 expansion of the fasting blood glucose fluctuation range, a 0.8 increase in glycated hemoglobin HbA1c, a 63 increase in the risk of type 2 diabetes. Its pathological mechanisms involve 1. Delay in the secretion phase of melatonin, interfering with the function of pancreatic cells. 2. Abnormal adiponectin levels reduced to 4.8 gml normal value, 530. 3. Inflammatory cytokine storm, IL-6 increased to 7.2 pg/ml normal, 5.9. Take Mr. Zhang, a freight driver in Taichung, as an example. At the age of 76, he had no previous history of metabolic abnormalities. After forming a daytime sleep pattern of 3.5 hours per day, he experienced the blood glucose peak reached 11.3 mol 2 hours after a meal. The insulin resistance in XHOMA-IR rose to 3.1. The visceral fat area increased to 138 cm. After implementing the segmented wake-up-snooze maintenance plan, 15 minutes of micro-exercise for every 20 minutes of daytime sleep, the Mediterranean diet pattern daily dietary fiber 35g. Circadian rhythm light therapy irradiation with red light at 600 nm in the morning. After 12 weeks of intervention, the test showed the insulin sensitivity index improved by 41. The dynamic blood glucose compliance rate increased to 92. The expression level of the skeletal muscle glucose transporter GLUT recovered by 28. Chapter 7. The Chemical Imbalance of Emotion Regulation. There is a precise coupling between the balance of neurotransmitters and the sleep cycle. Excessive daytime sleep will lead to disorder of the 5-hydroxycantramin reuptake inhibition mechanism, overactivation of the hypothalamic adrenal axis HPA axis, inhibition of the function of the aminobutyric acid GIBI system. Take Ms. Linen XIMBI as an example. After becoming a widow at the age of 73, she formed an daytime sleep pattern of 4 hours per day. Neurobiochemical tests showed The density of 5-HT1A receptors in the prefrontal cortex decreased by 39. The circadian rhythm of plasma cortisol disappeared 8 am, 5.2 GDL, 8 p.m., 4.8 GDL. The concentration of GIBA in the cerebrospinous fluid decreased to 68 nmol normal, 100/2200, accompanied by clinical manifestations. The score on the Hamilton Depression Rating Scale HIM to reach 24 points. The score on the Social Function Scale SIS was only 41 points. The correct rate of the Positive Emotion Perception Test decreased to 63. After multidimensional interventions. 1. Reconstruction of the light rhythm 10. 0 lux white light in the morning, amber light before dusk. 2. Social rhythm therapy, community gardening activities at fixed times. 3. Nutritional enhancement plan, combined supplementation of tryptophan and vitamin E3. After 8 weeks of intervention, the review showed the activity of monoamine oxidase decreased to the normal range. The social function score increased to 79 points. The fMRI activation pattern of the emotion-related brain regions returned to normal. If you agree with these metabolic regulation strategies, please type 5 in the comments section. Your every interaction is helping to spread health knowledge. New readers, please click to subscribe immediately and turn on the notifications. Don't miss the chronic disease prevention and control guides released every week. The next issue will deeply analyze the relationship between mitochondrial biogenesis and sleep quality, the regulation of glucose metabolism by the circadian rhythm PR2, the principles for formulating personalized resistance exercise prescriptions. Each issue comes with a printable health self-assessment scale and internationally certified intervention programs to help you build an accurate health protection network. Implement the 3 golden principles. Daytime sleep time limit method. Strictly control it during the cortisol trough period 1315 to 0, and the duration 30 minutes. Metabolic activation strategy. Perform 3 minutes of resistance exercise every 60 minutes, such as squats with a resistance band. Light nutrition management. Receive 5,000 lux of natural light every day, and cooperate with a dietary plan rich in magnesium and zinc. By scientifically regulating the sleep-wake cycle, you can simultaneously improve sugar metabolism indicators. HbA1c decreased by 1.2. Emotional stability. The depression scale score improved by 58. Muscle metabolic activity. The level of creatine kinase increased by 34. Final chapter. The golden principles of health management. When we systematically sort out the potential impacts of daytime rest, scientifically adjusting the strategy becomes the key. Implement the following 3-stage regulation plan to achieve the optimization of metabolic homeostasis. Daytime naptime limit management. Strictly control it during the cortisol trough period 1315 0, each duration 30 minutes. Exercise metabolic activation. Perform 5 minutes of resistance training every 90 minutes, such as bench press with a resistance band. Photopressure regulation. Receive 7,000 lux of natural light every day, equivalent to reading under the shade of trees in the morning for 40 minutes. Empirical research shows that continuous implementation for 12 weeks can make the basal metabolic rate increase by 18, the blood glucose fluctuation range decrease by 37, the muscle glycogen in reserve increase by 29. More importantly, establish an accurate circadian rhythm anchor point to make the body get rid of the dependence on compensatory daytime sleep. Core revelation. Daytime rest is essentially a barometer of the physiological rhythm. When you have the following signs, it is a regulation signal sent by the body. Feeling drowsy after a daytime nap, sleep inertia index 7. Nighttime sleep efficiency 85. It takes more than 30 minutes to wake up in the morning. At this time, you need to start the circadian rhythm remodeling plan CRP, which includes measurement of the secretion phase of melatonin, monitoring of the core body temperature, calculation of the energy consumption ratio of activity rest, interaction and action initiative. If you are determined to start a health transformation, please type final chapter in the comments section. Every decision you make is writing a new chapter of health. New viewers, please subscribe to our knowledge channel immediately and start tracking the special topic of healthy aging. The next issue will deeply analyze the association model between mitochondrial autophagy and sleep quality, the regulatory mechanism of the circadian rhythm gene BMAL1, the derivation of the formula for personalized resistance exercise prescriptions. Each issue comes with an actionable health plan and internationally certified assessment tools. Immediately practice the 3 transformation strategies. 1. Light nutrition management. Receive 10. 0 lux of light with your naked eyes for 20 minutes in the morning. Use a full spectrum lamp on cloudy days. 2. Eating during the metabolic window. Concentrate 75 of the calorie intake during the period of rising body temperature 615 0. 3. Microcycle exercise. Perform 5 minutes of resistance training every 90 minutes of wakefulness using your own body weight. By scientifically regulating the daytime rest pattern, you will witness optimization of the glucose metabolism regulation mechanism, HbA1c decreased by 1.5, enhancement of neuroplasticity, BNF level increased by 42, strengthening of cardiovascular function, heart rate variability increased by 29. Let's jointly launch this health awakening revolution. Appeal for value resonance. If you agree with the concept of precise health management, please click the appreciation icon to help spread the knowledge. Your support will be transformed into free open health calculation tools, a regularly updated self-measurement scale library, expert-level online QA services. Subscribe now. This is the best time for transformation. Every small change you make today is laying the foundation for your health 10 years later. Click the subscribe button and immediately join the scientific anti-aging community. The next video will reveal the practical strategies for reversing the epigenetic clock to help you regain the initiative in your physiological age. See you at the next knowledge node.